Fischer random. Alright, let's see what we're going to be hit with. What setup? Let's do it. Team black. Okay. Bishops, these guys don't have to move in order to contribute. Unprotected pawns. They're all protected. Where do I want to castle? If I'm to castle, I have to clear out bishop, knight, rook, knight. To castle queenside, I need to move my queen and knight out. But if I castle queenside, you'll note that these bishops are like firing right down at me. So I don't know what I want to do. Maybe I want to play the copycat game. I think I might want to do this also. With my knight. No, I don't like obstructing that pawn just yet. How do I get my queen out? How do we both get our queen out? It's gonna be a problem. Let me do the same. Fight for some control over one of the central squares. Pretty much on the first move in Fischer randoms, I'm looking at the C, D, E, and F pawns and which one to move 2 squares forward. Any one of those 4 will contribute to some control, either the control of, or the it would occupy the center and control. But okay, I think I still want to do what my opponent is doing. So now at least both bishops can see where the knights belong. Okay, I don't think I could allow this bishop to play to E5 and slam the door on this guy in the corner. So structural change. What do I do with my knight? I just don't know. I think I have to play here. Let's do it. I get developed, and it's tough. I don't want to do this because I'm blocking in my E pawn, and I don't want to do this move either. I mean, I would want to do this to get my knight here, but that just seems so weakening to my light squares. Maybe it's okay though. Hang on. How did my queen get working? She's so stupid. Actually, my opponent's having the same problems. The queen is a difficult piece to get working. If I go here, my knight kind of looks like a giant clown, right? You go here, and he's having problems, big problems. I have a problem on the clock already. What do I do? D6, knight E7, and then try and get in this advance? I guess. Or maybe this pawn push, and then knight here. Then he looks stupid. I guess one of them has to look stupid, and maybe it'll be him. Okay, let me try this. Let me try this. Actually, yeah, that's a brilliant idea. Because I'm not even threatening this pawn advance. Because of pins. Because of an unprotected guy on E8. Okay, he is suffering right now from tall pawn syndrome right here. Tall pawn syndrome going on for this guy. Wow. What do you even do? Let's do this. Now at least I could do this and then get my knight to E7. And then maybe I could play my pawn up to like G. No, this is B. This is the B file. Now I could do this. Now I could do this. And then I could jump my knight in here. So I'm finally starting to see some coordination. You know what? I never really considered taking this knight. Alright, let's go. This knight, my opponent I think has better coordination. This knight's going to be a tough guy once he gets here. Okay, I think I want to get my queen working. B5, B4. Knight F3 to E5 seems interesting. My opponent can now castle. Seems a bit crazy, but I'm going to do it. For a second, I thought B5 can be met with B4, but that's not the case unless my opponent wants to drop this guy on C3 and then everything else. So this is now a hole as a result of this last pawn advance. C5, is there a way my opponent could be making use of that? They might be able to. Knight B3 to C5 stuff. But okay. I insist. I want to really still try to get this advance in. I could castle kingside. This knight, if it eventually comes here, okay, maybe I should just castle right now. Yeah, I better castle as well. So we're both castled. And do I want to first move my queen up a step before I play b4, or do I just play b4 right away? See, b4 takes, rook takes, queen takes. Am I okay with my queen then being on a8 instead of b8? Because I might, once I push here, I might want to play my queen up to b5. It seems like just a more active square. But you know what? Maybe I want to capture with my knight. Come to think of it, let me do this. Normally I would want to just recapture like that, but you know what? I'm going to go with my knight, and the reason for this is so that it makes life a bit more uncomfortable for the queen. You'll note by putting pressure on c2, it says, you know what? You better not go so far away. You have to babysit a pawn. And the knight, you'll note, can't be kicked away so easily, can he? Right? If ever c3, well then this is an issue. So what's this pawn doing? Something. Now he's doing something. And now maybe I can get my queen into d6, and I'm completely, I'm coordinated pretty well. My rook's in direct contact with one another. Right here, seems like the right thing to do. There was pressure on c5. Again, c3, not so easy. Maybe I should have considered queen here. However, c4 might have been a problem. Yeah, probably would have been a problem. Okay, so what's the story with this guy? Oh man, 140, about even on time. Let's see. Knight guards here. Maybe I want to get my rook off the same diagonal as that. All right, let me do this. No, let me. I don't know what I want to do. Oh, I want to go here. I think there might be some knight here. I want to be in a spot to be able to take and still have coverage on this square. There could still be some tricky tactics with an eventual fork. Knight here, takes. Oh, my knight has to run away. The queen is defending that now. Oh, I missed that. Okay, so I still have coverage for this point. Can it be attacked again? Knights on the same diagonal as one another with two squares separating them are fighting for the same squares. So c5 and b6 are controlled for as long as I have this guy here. He's kind of canceling out the one on a4, so I'm looking elsewhere. I'm looking at g5, the knight playing here. I think my rook wants to play here to watch over this. Okay, so the knight is going to be playing here. I don't know that I want to take here. Oh, I just don't know. Yeah, I'm going to take. Open up this file. Pieces are going to be landing here, though. What a foolish piece right here on f7. Less than a minute. Okay, we're going to have mass exchanges, and after the smoke clears, I just don't know. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. Let's try that. 47 seconds. Where this is going to be a rat race, if you didn't realize. That's what it's going to come down to. Who can move the mouse fast? Let's go here. Pressure on this pawn. Let's pre-move that. 52 seconds, 50 seconds for Team White. Man, that we were both hit with a very difficult arrangement. My opponent made better use of the position. Go here, I guess. My bishop, he's definitely really bad, but he's serving I guess a decent role in having to watch over a pawn that's quite weak. And I want to trade queens, actually. Let's make that happen. Get the queens off. Okay, the queens are off, and now I want to target this pawn. I actually want my king up here. Oh, they're dropping that pawn. What's the trick? Oh, they're down on time. I got a pig here. Pig alert. Everything's falling now. 20 seconds. I could just take that. He's passed, and he's fast. I should have given a check. Forced the king in the other direction. So now I'm threatening this. Okay, that's winning now. It's winning the farm. Pac-Man mode. I do have a flight square. Let's go. Why was I not going fast there? Just grab this guy. Defend everything. Everything's defended. Keep pushing. Just get behind it. Watch out for stalemate. No stalemates. No time. My opponent was better for 95% of the game, I think. Good game. Let me back up. I don't know what else to do here. It seems like this is the best plan to go forward with. If I don't react properly right away in these Fischer randoms, it could turn out one of the bishops just gets killed. And case in point right here, like I'm pretty sure I have to take. If I just move my knight here, my opponent plays d4. I try to undermine it, and white says, so what? Playing e5. If that structure is allowed, d4, well, I have the coordinates wrong. e5 and f4. If that structure is allowed, I'm dead. So I'm already concerned about that for move 1. So that's why I was thinking I had to do that. I like this pawn break in the center for white. I would have liked to get that in if I was playing the white side, but okay, I really couldn't get that in, could I? And what could white do even better to put pressure on me? I like the knight move. Okay, he didn't really have a better square. This is fine. You castle. Yeah, you know, my opponent's just outplaying me here. Everything is just really harmonious here. There's got to be some better plan. Let's see. What would I do as white here? How do you do better here? Because after the smoke clears, it's a better structure for white, and white has a better bishop. Everything is pointing at this guy being bad news. So what do you do here? How about... Well, this knight is actually a bit stranded, isn't he? This turned out to be a slight problem. I think white would much rather like to have direct sight of a5, so how can you make that work? To be honest, this was my first thought, to just take the bishop and then plant the queen up in this nice strong post on d4, and it would come with tempo. And then maybe even look to trade queens. Queen b6 as a follow-up. Bishop takes, knight takes, queen d4, hitting the knight. I don't think I want to play here and work myself into a pin. As a follow-up, queen b6, maybe do that. Get the queens off just so this rook could finally get active. And then try and target this pawn. This is something to maybe be considering. Bishop h3 once you get to this point. My opponent's clearly better here. Clearly better. But time was an issue. If anything, bishop h3 and this pawn is going to drop. There is some concern, however, still in this endgame because I could be putting pressure on the b pawn, or if the b pawn moves, the c pawn, etc. So I don't know how advantageous this position is to get into the endgame. If you're not cracking through at e6, then maybe these rooks aren't looking so bright. But we were having a mouse race at this point, weren't we? Okay, good game. Good game. Let me close out of this and let me see where we are at with the tournament. Less than 9 minutes, and there are 91 players. Okay. 8 minutes, 15 seconds. Alrighty. Let me go to a game that's going on right now. I'm done with playing for right now. And actually, let me take like a quick 2-minute break, and I will be right back. Trying to see something here real quick. I'm